Hello, hello, it's Julie Davison and Susan LaCroix. I pointed the right way because we're in person. Yay! We are finishing up our visit and I'm so excited that we were able to film one more video in person together before we head home to Illinois. Normally we're on Zoom, and so if this is your first time watching, welcome. We're so excited that you're joining us for Sunday Stamping with Susan and Julie. Mom and I have been demonstrators for 20 years, and it took us 19 to finally figure out that we should be doing videos together. It is a little tricky because Mom's in Michigan and I'm in Illinois in the United States, but we've made it work on Zoom, and then every now and then we get to get together and do it in person. And we just love sharing.
We do, and we're thrilled that we got two videos of this visit, as short as it is. But we also are kind of thinking more getting ready for the holidays. So we are going to do that. We're going to start with the holidays in the mini catalog. So let's switch to the view and show you what we're going to do.
Yeah, I'm so excited about this suite.
Yeah, me too. All right, so let's take a look at the suite that we're using today. It's in the mini catalog, and it can be found on pages 8, 9, 10, and 11. So here's just kind of an overview of all the product, which I'm going to show you in depth. Let's slide over a little bit so you can see these beautiful, beautiful samples. So I'm curious which card Julie's cased.
Do you know what? I actually haven't cased anything today.
Wow!
I know! It's so true, but I love these.
Yeah, they're beautiful. It just gives you some great ideas. And this card here is using this die. And they've die cut it twice, and then they just kind of flipped it over so that you get this different look. So I just love that look.
I love that this little tag, and this set cuts out a tag for the candy canes. You could just slide them on. Like, I didn't even try to look for candy canes yet, because I mean, it's only August.
Right.
But what a cute little way to dress up candy canes. It's so quick and easy.
Oh my goodness, yes, and a little jingle bell. Oh, I love that. I love that. And then if we flip over to pages 10 and 11, we're going to get more samples and a better view, if you will, of the stamp sets. So there's the Christmas banners bundle. So
This is another mega suite.
I was just going to say, this is a mega suite because look at this. It's got 2 bundles. It's got 2 ribbons, sequins, glimmer paper in real red and white, and then this great designer series paper. So let's take a look at these things individually. Let's start with the bundles. And we'll start with Sweet Candy Cane. So here is the Cling Red Rubber Stamp Set that has, I love the fact that the candy canes are facing both ways so that you can use them. And consequently, here's the dies that go with it. So you've got that great label die that Julie was talking about, some mistletoe leaves, some candy canes. It's just a great bundle. I love it. Even if you don't get both bundles, because you've got greetings.
I just realized the candy canes are just a little bit different in their markings too. Yeah.
Yes, they are. This one's got like 2 extra little lines. This has 1. So yeah. And then the second bundle in this one is the Christmas banners. So we've got some wonderful greetings, some banner dies, different sizes, different shapes. And then we've got some hollies and berries and some more mistletoe leaves. I think those are mistletoe leaves. And then some fir leaves. So it's great. And then dies cut everything out.
I just ordered this one. It's waiting for me at home. I can't wait.
Yeah, so those are the 2 bundles, but gosh, they're standalone as well if you don't want to get both of them, but why wouldn't you? Okay, let's look at this designer series paper. I'm kind of doing some things backwards. This is 12 by 12 paper that I have cut down into 6 by 6 sheets just to show you better. And the dies will cut these out. So it just opens up even more possibilities of what you can do with this paper. So we've got just all kinds of more neutral, you can use this on Christmas or not. But you'll probably use it all up before Christmas. Oh, I have another candy cane. Maybe I've got doubles here.
That one's a double for sure.
Yeah, it is. I must be missing one.
Oh, you are. You're right.
I am missing one. I've been using it, I will confess. So it may be gone.
Spoiler alert, it's red and green.
Yeah. And here's the flip sides of these.
Oh, I think I know which one is missing.
Oh, is it yours?
It is.
It's yours.
Well, this is the one I was going to use.
Okay.
So it's got other candy canes, red and green, and then
Yep.
the other side is the red and white.
There you
stripe.
go. Yeah. So it's gone. All right, and then the Glimmer paper, red and white, and rustic. Which suite is it that has like vanilla-ish Glimmer paper?
That's the one we showed last week. The
Yes.
Light to Glow.
Light to Glow suite. So if you'll have both. You could have kind of a vanilla or off-white, and the white and some red. So this you get in this. You get 8 pieces, so 4 of each color of this Glimmer paper. And again, it doesn't shed, which I am so grateful for. We have some nice embellishments too with this suite. This ribbon is great. It's garden green, and it's real red, and it's soft. It's easy to tie. Last week, Julie showed a double bow. You could do a double bow out of the red
Oh,
and
yeah.
green. I didn't do it, but you could.
So these come together in a
Yes.
combo pack.
Yes, they do. And then we have some of these great sequins. And they are called adhesive back seasonal sequins. So there's white in here. I have an open package, so I'll show you later. But there's green, there's white, there's red, and gold. Those are the 4 colors.
They're my favorite.
Yeah. So that's our suite.
All right. Are you ready to see what I made?
I am so ready. Yes.
Okay, let's switch the camera. All right, I'm really excited about this fun fold card. Now, I've seen this fold before, but you had one downstairs. And since we didn't know who it came from, we are not showing it on camera because I don't want to not give credit. But this is a fold I've seen before, so it's not something that's new, but it's kind of fun. So you're going to use some 12 by 12 designer paper for this fun fold, and you'll need to cut it down to 5.5 by 12 inches. So you can get 2 cards each from a 12 by 12 sheet of designer paper, and then you're going to do some scoring. So I've got the template here. I'll also include the measurements in the video description as well. So you're going to score at 2 inches, 4 inches, 8 inches, and 10 inches. Essentially every 2 inches, except you're leaving a larger space in the middle. And then the next part is we're going to cut diagonally on each side. And so the measurement for that is 2 3/4, which is half of 5.5 inches. Okay, so really, really super easy measurements to get. So we're gonna do that on each side. We're gonna measure at 2 3/4, and then we're gonna cut from that middle point up to the second fold line so that we have sort of this center piece. So you know what? I thought I did, but I don't think I did on this one. I'm gonna do the measuring first. So I'm gonna measure right here in the track, and I'm gonna use a pencil and just sort of make that mark at the top and the bottom in the track. And you can't really see it. I can see it, but you saw the template, so you know where I'm going with this. And then that's the point I'm cutting to, which is the point of that second score from the side. So I'm just gonna trim off that corner. And then I'm going to do the same thing on the other side with that other mark and going diagonally up to, gotta figure out where that fold is. It's hard sometimes on the pattern paper. Right in the track, and then cut. Okay, so I have this designer paper, just like the templates. And now we're going to do some folding. So let's grab the bone folder for that, and I'm going to fold in and then out. So you sort of have this like zigzag, but I love this fold because you see both sides of the paper. So it's so perfect for paper like this that has coordinating patterns that look so great together. Okay, so there is the base of the card. Now I did this also in another pattern, and I got it all cut and prepped and ready to go, and there was something I didn't like about it, and I think it's because there's more contrast here with the red, the solid red, whereas this was like, there was a lot of white going on, and I just felt like the stripes were not as strong. So I would recommend when you're making this fold to do a more contrasted pattern. What were you gonna say?
What happens if you flip that the other way?
I know, I did try it both ways. And so the problem is both designs are very white, like the background is very whitish. So
I like this way
like that better?
than having the candy canes out.
So you could also do the same with this paper.
Do that?
And do it the other way. Like that.
I like it the other way.
I do like it the other way, yeah. So you can kind of go either way, and I love that it's symmetrical. So it doesn't, like, you could cut your paper and then you can change your mind. It doesn't matter. So
true.
this will work with so many different papers, but it's so just festive with this Christmas paper. Okay, so that is sort of the main part of the card. So the next thing is going to be adding a piece on the inside. So I've got this ready to go, but look at this. What? I have the measurements on the back for you.
You rocked it.
How smart is that, right? So because the total card here is 4 inches across, okay, because it's 12 by 12 paper, then our card is a little bit not as wide as normal. So the green is 3 3/4 by 5 1/4. And then the white is 3 1/2 by 5 inches. So essentially I just always go down a 1/4 inch,
Yes.
1/4 inch, 1/4 inch, 1/4 inch, okay? So this is gonna go right on the inside of the card, and that is going to kind of tie everything in. I had a little extra piece from this paper when I was cutting this, and so I decided to bring in a little color on the inside. And so we're just gonna add this with some Stampin' Seal. It's hard for me to see like where the edges of this are. So that is just gonna go centered right there. And I did, when I stamped the sentiment, I did try to keep it lower so that it wouldn't be visible in the front. So just something to kind of think about and be aware of as you're stamping your inside. For the front, I have some layered pieces. I have a die cut from the scalloped contour dies. I just love those. They're different stitched rectangles.
Yes.
And then a piece of the garden green to layer it onto. So this one is 3 5/8 inch by 4 inches. And so I'm just gonna glue those together. And you know me, and I love easy. Easy peasy. And so for my focal point, I used the die to die cut right from the designer paper. I love that the dies go with the paper and the stamps. I just love it when they do that. And so there are both kinds of candy canes. So you can use both dies to die cut the candy canes from this designer paper. And they really packed them in there. So there's a lot of candy canes to die cut and to use. So I've die cut that ahead of time, and I also did some stamping and other die cutting ahead of time. So I have a little pine needle from the, what is this one called? The banners? Christmas banners. I love this. So I'm gonna just show you.
So you stamped it. Okay.
I did it ahead of time, but I did want to show you. Like, it's such simple stamp. It's right in front of me. Okay. So the green is the banner. And then the sentiment is in the red. And I was just floored at how easy this was. And the sentiments kind of already have like a little curve to them. So they're designed to fit right into those banners. And then there's dies that die cut them. So super easy. While I have the paper though, let me show you really quick. If you don't have the designer paper, I don't know why you wouldn't, but if you didn't, or if you ran out of candy canes, maybe that would be the more likely scenario. You could also get the same look with the markers on the stamp. So I just wanted to show that really quick, even though I cheated and used the designer paper.
It's not cheating.
You're right, it's not cheating. But you could also get the same look with the markers and coloring right on there. So these are the regular markers, not the Stampin' Blends.
Right, Stampin' Right markers.
Yes, we don't use the Stampin' Right markers, I feel like, very much anymore. But they are the ones that you want to use if you're coloring on stamps. So if you want to get a multicolored,
I'm going to stop right there for a second. You do not want to use your alcohol markers on stamps. It will not come off. You have then permanently marked your stamp with alcohol ink. So if you want multiple colors on a stamp like Julie is showing, you must use the Stampin' Right markers. I cannot.
And these are like water-based dye ink. Okay, so you're going to color it all different colors if you want. You can do all the different colors on there. The Poppy Parade, pool party. The designer paper does have one that has like you know, all kinds of different stripes in there. So it's like Blushing Bride maybe even.
Maybe.
But whenever I'm using the markers, I always just sort of like to re-moisten the ink because it does tend to dry kind of fast. So I just breathe on it and huff on the stamp. And then you stamp and you get that multicolored image. So that is a way to do it if you run out of your designer paper, because certainly you have the designer paper. Nobody's not going to get the designer paper. Then we're just going to layer all our elements together. And I wanted to incorporate, I've got the little fur
leaf?
Yeah, and I wanted to add some red, and like I looked at the dies and the only one that really made sense was like the berries, but I didn't want to do the berries. So I decided to just do a little bit of that red ribbon from the Suite. And so I'm just going to add that over here on the side. And I'm going to use my trick that I always love to do to hold my ribbon down is a little piece of tear and tape. And we're just going to add that right across the center because I'm going to cover that up with the banner. So that just kind of holds my ribbon in place. I'm going to have the candy cane over here and the little the little fir.
Fir, I think, yeah.
Yeah, like a fir tree.
Yeah.
And then we'll use a glue dot to put this one on. And yeah, I thought it didn't get a glue dot for a second. And then some Stampin' Dimensionals underneath the banner and underneath the candy cane. And gosh, that looks cute too, and it's not even supposed to be a candy cane. So you could just die cut those candy canes straight from the... so this one's kind of got like a white outline, but if you don't like the white outline, you could just cut right from the... right from the stripes. I'm sure Stampin' Up thought of that. They're so smart.
Yeah, the designers are amazing.
I just love how everything always coordinates together.
Yeah.
Just makes
that's
it
what
so...
attracted me to Stampin' Up all those years ago. The ink pads coordinated with the markers, which coordinated with the cardstock, which coordinated with the designer series paper, which coordinated with embellishments. Look at that.
I know, it's coming together. So this is going to go on the front of our card like this. And I want to only adhere it to the front. So I think the best way to put this on is to put the adhesive on the paper where this is going to go so that we don't accidentally put it somewhere where we don't want it to go. So I'm just going to kind of I'll use 2 pieces and kind of keep them a little bit shorter so that you don't go too long down, right? So just take those off and then you can center this kind of where you want that to go.
So cute. I love that fold.
Yeah, it's so easy. And so I think you can use so many different kinds of designer paper to show off both sides and the coordination.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
That is beautiful.
Thank you. Are you ready to share what you made?
I'm very excited to share what I'm doing today.
All right, let's switch the camera over.
Okay, so I'm starting off using some of our great tools, and I'm going to use the Stamparatus today. And I don't know how many of you have our Stamparatus or if you have ever seen it. So I'm just going to do a quick little talk about it. So I love our placement tool. And it actually comes with 2 plates that come out, and they recommend you don't store your Stamparatus with the plates in because you don't want them to crack. Okay, so this one, I don't need this second plate, but I want to just kind of show you where it goes. So you can actually stamp 2 different stamps if you need to. The other
and the plates are double-sided, so
yes,
you can put
this is true.
Stamps on each side.
You can. And the other thing is that I don't think any other stamp placement tool does this, but you can take this off and do step stamping. So if you've got a greeting, for example, that you want to come all the way down your paper, you just stamp it and then remove it and then keep moving this down. So, all right. Then I'm just really struggling with this. And I'm putting this here because it's easier to have something underneath it. It kind of makes it a little bit more level. All right. So now let's talk about placement. So this is my cardstock that I'm going to use. I'm going to put it just about here. And I'm going to grab the magnets. So I've been lucky I haven't had to replace mine, but these are really strong magnets. So you want to make sure that you don't put them too close together because they will slam together and crack and break. So you want to keep them apart. But right now what I want to do...
I want to talk a minute about the tape.
Oh, yeah.
And you have some on your plate too. Like,
yeah. I put some masking tape there so that it's easier to grab. So you're not trying to dig and pull it out and risk getting them together or having them smack together. And I put some on the plate just so it's easier to grab.
I love that, like a little handle.
Like a little handle, yep. All right, so what I'm going to take these off here because I'm going to show you what I'm going to do is I'm going to put these on my cardstock.
You want to probably go the other way?
I do want to go the other way. Crazy Susan. Okay, here we go. All right, so once I have them where I want, and for this it doesn't matter because these are going to be die cut, but if I was stamping like card fronts and I wanted to make sure that I was doing several of them, that this is key. And so what I will sometimes do if I'm doing that is I'll take a pen or they're sticky, take a pen or a pencil and I'll mark the corners. So I know right where to put my cardstock as I'm moving things in and out. Yeah. So that's just another little tip. All right, so once I have them where I want them, and again, I'm die cutting these, so it doesn't really matter too much, and I'm sliding all over this table. I'm just gonna push down and it's gonna put them where I want them. And then I'm gonna put my magnets here to hold the cardstock down. All right, and I'm gonna get some baby wipes handy because I'm gonna show you a fun technique.
I have an idea to help this slipping.
Oh, look at you, Jay. All right.
You just have a shiny table.
I do. So ignore this nasty little washcloth.
It was from the rag drawer. It was nearby.
All right, so I'm going to stamp up or ink up my stamps. And then I'm going to stamp my candy canes. And the beautiful thing too is if for some reason you didn't get quite enough ink on your stamp, doesn't matter. You just flip it up and then you can put more ink on it and restamp it. All right, so now for this next part, I want some shine on my candy canes. And so you want to make sure when you're doing this next step that you really clean these stamps really, really well. So we're not taking those candy canes off the Stamparatus at all. We're gonna clean our stamps and get ink all over my fingers in the meantime, because yes, that's what I do. Well, I've just made a real red mess.
I feel like that always happens to me when I'm trying to clean stamps.
Yeah.
Even with the chamois, like I just feel like it gets all over my fingers.
Yeah, it does. Well, that's the sign of a true crafter.
That's right.
If you walk away with no ink on your fingers.
Did you even really stamp?
Did I even? Oh yeah, that's a question to ask. All right, so then we're gonna let that dry for just a second. We're gonna use some Versamark and some clear embossing powder. And of course, we're gonna bring out our new tool. I don't know that I'm going to use the embossing buddy on this, because we're gonna die cut it.
I don't know, you didn't use the embossing buddy yet. I would use it right now.
Okay.
Because otherwise you might have
You're right.
other spots besides the red ink.
This is true. Okay, you convinced me.
When in doubt, emboss.
Emboss, buddy. Use the embossing buddy.
Embossy buddy.
All right, so now I'm gonna re-ink my candy canes with Versamark, and it looks like I've got them all in there. Okay, and I'm going to restamp right over because they're in the same place. They haven't moved. Everything else is moving, but that's it. All right, so now we're ready to rock and roll here. So I'm going to take these off, putting them real far apart from each other. It just
stuck to something else. That was
yes, it did. Okay, so now we can remove this.
I just want to show really quick on the back side of the Stamparatus, the magnet holders are
Yes.
kind of separated, so that's where they go on the back side to store.
Yeah, thank you. Oh, look what I just did. I didn't smear. So clear embossing powder. Ta-da, ta-da. All right. Love this new powder pal. Does that look like it went over there? Okay. One more little scooch around. All right. I'm going to pass that off to Jay. And I'm going to bring out my heat gun. And watch the magic. There it goes. I don't know if you can see this on camera. But, you know, I always think, you know, candy canes are shiny. So I thought a little shine on them for this project would be nice. Now I have, I've done another pair and die cut it, so we don't have to take the time to do all that. But that would be the next step after this embossing kind of dries. Or cools down, I guess is the right answer. All right, so there it is. All nice and shiny and through the magic of television. They're done.
Die cut too. I love that. That's such a fun technique to add a little shine to the candy cane. So stamped in red ink and then clear embossed over the top.
Over the top, yep. All right, now let me bring in some more elements of this project. So, and I, once again, forgot to measure, and I apologize. They're fairly straightforward ones, but they will be in the description. Real red card base. So let me go ahead and fold that up. And take my bone folder to get a nice crease. And then I've already done the inside as well, wishing you lots of love, joy, and happiness this Christmas season and always. So we'll go ahead and glue that in. And then we won't have to worry about it.
I used the same stamp on the inside of my
card.
card.
Oh, did you really? Oh, Lordy. Okay. So I took that latticey die and some of the designer series paper and die cut it out. And then I also cut to size a piece of the white Glimmer paper. And for the sake of time, I went ahead and put little mini glue dot or mini dimensionals all over this. So I think we've been playing with this Glimmer paper the last couple weeks, and the challenge is finding a good adhesive for it. So I know glue dots will work, but I think we discovered that dimensionals also is a strong enough adhesive.
Yeah.
We're gonna give it a try anyway.
Do you want to put the glitter paper down on the card front first?
I probably will. Actually, what I did was when I made my sample, I didn't, but it doesn't matter which way you want to do it. See, I thought this would save time. I thought by the time I should have put them all on, it would definitely.
I think that this die coordinates with some of the designer paper that you can die cut it.
Oh yes, you can.
And then
to match up with the stripes.
Yeah.
I think you're right, Julie. Oop. So this is going to go edge to edge. So I'm leaving just a little border of the real red card base on. And then I'm going to, you got it, Jay?
I think so. I'm just playing around. You can show it when you're done with that.
Okay. So now I'm just going to line this up here, like so. Sure. Bam. Yeah.
It's so delicate with the designer paper.
Yeah. All right. So we're going to keep going here. And get this on here. And push down where I have the dimensionals. Why is it you? Oh, because I didn't take the cover off. There. All right. All right, so once we have this on, and of course my orientation is going to be this way. I'm going to get my candy canes ready and my label. So what I did with the candy canes, and I need some green ribbon.
Oh, right here.
Thank you. Is I'm going to put a glue dot on the back of this candy cane to hold them together.
So cute.
Then I'm going to put another glue dot on the back to help hold the ribbon while I tie a bow around it.
Smart.
All right, and ribbon scissors. I'm probably giving myself way too much ribbon. Rather too much than not enough.
Exactly.
All right, I'm gonna tie my bow around here. Very traditional colors. There's a little mix of some other colors in here. Some pool party, I think, and Calypso Coral maybe.
I think it's Poppy Parade in Real Red.
Oh, is it Poppy Parade? I almost grabbed Poppy Parade, but oh well. I like this. Tying a bow on camera. Never.
You're doing great.
Never fun. All right, let's get you over here. Let's pull you out a little bit. We're gonna slide this stuff down. That's a little bit better, I think, huh?
I think it looks awesome.
Alrighty, and then I'm gonna just cut some tails. Yeah, I had way too much ribbon, but that's all right. You can have the tails as long or as short as you want. All right, so this is gonna get placed right here. And then for the greeting, I grabbed Candy Cane Wishes and Mistletoe Kisses. I'm gonna stamp that in red because, I have red all over my hands. So I'm gonna stamp this towards the top because that's crooked. I don't have my grid paper. Oh! There we go. That's a little better. All right, and then I'm going to grab, I already stamped and die cut my mistletoe leaves. Oh, this is the day I have been having.
You keep asking for things that are literally
in front of me. Yes, ma'am.
Oh my goodness.
That's okay. So we'll use some of our handy dandy glue dots. Oh, I think we're slap happy, Julie.
And it's not even late at night.
No. No, I'm afraid to. Yeah, you've been up early. You got up early this morning.
It wasn't that early.
Earlier than me?
Yeah.
All right, so I'm going to put these mistletoe leaves coming off here, and then I'm going to grab some of the sequins that are in this bundle.
I
The
love
Suite.
these. I feel like I've used these with so many different things.
Right?
They're just so versatile.
Green and white and gold, and of course the red. So mistletoe actually can be either white berries or red berries.
Oh yeah.
So I'm going to use red. All right, so where's my little, here we go. And I think I'm just gonna stick with the little ones and just put some on here. I almost feel like this could use more than 3. So I may put a few more on here.
4 perhaps?
5. You silly girl. Just a bunch. How's that? Maybe I need to cover that end up more. Too much? Should I take some off?
No, I think it's good.
All right. And then
So
I'm going
festive.
to, it is. I'm going to grab some dimensionals and follow Julie's, all labels need to be popped up.
It's true.
All right, the last little bit here.
Oh, this is such a good card. Did you put those candy canes down yet?
Oh no! I would pick the card up and off it would go. So these are also going on with dimensionals. one more up there, just for luck, right? I don't have to put the odd number rule on dimensionals.
Nobody sees them.
Not at all. So this is a fun card. And yeah, we're going to show you how that lines up. Let me just get these candy canes on. And we'll just put them down. So we have the candy canes with some glimmer on it. We got the glimmer paper in the back. We've got the sequins. And then we just open it up for that greeting right there. So there it is.
Love, love, love.
So let me show you now how this die can work with the designer series paper. So there's several of them that you can line up. Probably, you could do it this way maybe, huh? If you wanted it this way?
Yeah, I was kind of messing around, and I'd
Do it this way?
You could do it that way. I feel like you could use different ones and they kind of line up differently, but like a lot of them are the same kind of width, or they,
Yes.
you know, sort of slide in there nicely. So.
Yep. So you'd have to play around, but you definitely can get, you know, I line this up with the skinnier red and green pattern. And this one as well, same thing. It should be cut on the other angle, you know, if it was cut the other way.
You know, I was trying to turn it around because I didn't know if it was then the other way around.
But you guys get the idea, right?
Yeah, you have some other projects to show too, right?
I do. So here's one that lines up really well.
Oh yeah, there you go. See, perfect.
Yeah. And then this guy, which is the back of the one that I used.
Yeah.
But it lines up so very nicely. So let me show you some other samples. Thanks. So I made this one, I think for a team meeting. I'm trying to remember.
Well, you shared one like that when we did, was it the He's the Man suite?
Could be, yes.
And
yes.
I think you had done this version with your stamp club, or maybe it was a team meeting or something.
Yep.
I love that. So we'll put the link in the video description so you can check out that other Sunday stamping video with the measurements and the tutorial for that fun fold card. I really love that with the candy cane.
Thanks. And then this one is a swap card from Faye Caldwell.
The music background.
The music background.
How
'Tis the
perfect is that
season.
for Christmas?
Yeah. And she used some of the red glimmer paper there. And she cut out some of the fir trees and leaves in different colors. And then this one is a swap card, but I kept checking and it wasn't, I kept checking. I checked once. There was nothing on the inside either, but let me just pull it out because if you notice, the card front was done with the lattice, and then she did another piece. Oh, bam! Oh,
I wondered when you were going to notice.
She did another piece and turned it so that you get that double lattice kind of look.
Oh, I love that.
And then she used the banners, the Merry Christmas in there, and some of the red ribbon. And then on the inside, I almost tear it apart. Okay, she didn't do the inside. So whoever this was, it's a beautiful card. Are we ready to share our cards?
Yeah, let's turn the camera around and show off our cards together. Oh my goodness, I love these candy canes and the Sweetest Christmas Suite with this designer paper. I just think it is so perfectly Christmas with all the red and green. Oh,
I'll add them. No worries.
Absolutely. 2 sequins aren't enough.
No.
Well, I can't believe like Christmas is kind of sneaking up. I wasn't ready, to craft for Christmas, but it is almost like the end of August, and so Christmas is coming super fast. And so the end of August also means the end of Sale-a-Bration.
So there's still still some items in here that are still available. And then there's also more to celebrate with the additional items that Stampin' Up! Has added. So you have your choice of a lot of product, but you only have like a week left to finalize what you want and make sure you get your orders placed.
Time is running out for Sale-a-Bration.
It is. Oh, but don't worry. Celebration will be right around the corner again after the
Right
holidays.
around the corner again. That's right. It starts in January. And demonstrators will get the first peek at the next celebration things at Backstage in November. So if you're a demonstrator, make sure on stage. Oh my gosh. The names are just too close. We're headed to Backstage this week. We're going down to New Orleans with other Silver Elite and above demonstrators. And so we're so excited to gather for an in-person Stampin' Up event.
Our first in-person Stampin' Up event since COVID.
Yes,
so
since 2019.
First in-person, yeah. So we're really excited about it, and we've both already registered for Indianapolis
on stage. Oh my goodness! If you're a demonstrator, On Stage is open to all demonstrators. And so it's taking place. There's a live event in Vienna, and then there's local events across the United States and Canada and the South Pacific. And so Mom and I will both be at the Indianapolis On Stage local. So if you're headed to Indianapolis, be sure to find us and say hello. We hope that you will consider going to On Stage no matter where you live, because it's always just so much fun to gather together.
Yeah. It is.
Oh my gosh. Speaking of gathering together, I'm so excited that we were able to get in 2 videos in this very short visit. And hopefully we'll be able to film again in person soon.
Soon, I hope. I hope. We won't have time in New Orleans. And I don't think we'll have time in Indianapolis.
Oh no, unless you want to come over for a little while afterwards.
Well, I don't know who I'm traveling with.
I was going to say, I don't think your travel buddies would like a detour to my house.
I don't know. They might.
Oh my goodness. Well, let's wrap it up for now. We look forward to seeing you next Sunday stamping with Susan and Julie. Have a great week.
Have a great week, everybody.
Bye.
Bye, Jay.
Bye, Mom.